So what does it mean ultimately to live the life and follow the way? Perhaps it really is the essence of spirituality and all true religions. Learning to walk with God and becoming an expression of God. My father, Dr. Stephen Isaac, from his psychological viewpoint, offered these words about it, saying, its principal attributes are consciousness and character, and their unfoldment in the form of experience and behavior. How we see and how we do. To fulfill the way we must live the life. Now, out of that wonderful little paragraph, isolate yourself on those two words, see and do. I think he's offering us, in a sense, a cycle within our being to see God, do God, see God, do God. And as we, in our efforts and striving, begin to put those rhythms into our life, that cycle then becomes more a part of us. And it becomes a way that each of us can fulfill that promise of following the way and living the life. It ultimately leads us to a greater wholeness in God the more we get in rhythm with it, the more we are filled with it. And for Christian mysticism, this is the way of the living Christ. It is a way of giving self over to God, which always sounds wonderful. Surrender, oh yes, that's exactly what I want to do until the moment comes. Our natural human experience is to resist that. And so we must know that as we enter this journey together, letting go and allowing God. So that Christian mysticism, what Christ was trying to bring, is the need for a greater union with God for each of us. And Christ ultimately can help us with this as head of that Christ office for this world, bringing his frequencies that are really God's frequencies through him to help us see, to help us feel, to help us gain insight, to find intuitive thoughts that can help guide us. And this is the function of the Christ Spirit today for all people, all faiths, stimulating that need for greater union with God. Whatever path we are on, that is the goal. And ultimately, then, God within each of us is stirred and awakened, and hopefully expanding through us is the goal, which is really allowing us to lift our consciousness to contact with our soul. We all have a soul, that gateway to God within us, that Flower often called our Christ self within. But it is this gateway to God's kingdom. Now, isn't that a glorious thing? We don't want it dormant. We want it active through us, seeing the way of God and doing what comes. And I think that's really the part. If we can get to that contact, we can allow ourselves to see more clearly from a higher perspective, a higher consciousness in what we need to then do. And where Christ comes in to help transform us is anytime we are activating truth. And truth doesn't have to be some big spiritual insight. It can be just, okay, I know I need to do this. I need to be strong in this situation, or I need to be calm. Anytime we get that truth, in a sense, of what that moment means, we have to activate it. We have to be calm then. We have to be in that presence. And that's where Christ comes in, and it almost reconfigures our atoms. In video games, they call this leveling up, because you're growing and all of a sudden your character becomes more strengthened to meet what it is that we are encountering.